Carried a dream for so long without knowing, an image without edges and without a face, a feeling more than a picture, slowly growing in the space between the wishing and the grace. I couldn't have described it if you'd asked me, couldn't have drawn the outline or the name, just a warmth I kept inside that somehow lasted, a love I hadn't met but knew would come the same. And I looked for it in places that were almost, in the faces that resembled what I felt. But almost is the loneliest of the foremost, the hand of cards that never quite was dealt. You are the love I always dreamed of, and you didn't even try to be the dream. You just arrived and were yourself completely, in the dream I'd carried finally found, it seemed. You are the love I always dreamed of, not the polished and the perfect and the planned, but the real and the imperfect and the freely given version I could never understand, until you stood in front of me so simply, and the dream said, this is it, this is the one. This is exactly what you always meant, before the dreaming was begun. I've thought about the dreaming and the finding, how the two don't always recognize each other, how the dream prepares you but the binding of the real to it takes longer to discover, because you weren't what I expected in the detail. You were different in the color and the shape, but somewhere past the surface and the retail of first impressions came the landscape. And I looked for it in places that were almost, in the faces that resembled what I felt. But almost is the loneliest of the foremost, the hand of cards that never quite was dealt. You are the love I always dreamed of, and you didn't even try to be the dream. You just arrived and were yourself completely, in the dream I'd carried finally found, it seemed. You are the love I always dreamed of, not the polished and the perfect and the planned, but the real and the imperfect and the freely given version I could never understand, until you stood in front of me so simply, and the dream said, this is it, this is the one. This is exactly what you always meant, before the dreaming was begun. There is something almost sacred in the arriving, in the moment when the dream becomes the real, when the years of holding on and of surviving, the long wait finally open to reveal. And I want you to know what you arrived to, the particular and patient dream you filled, not to burden you but so that you can see through my eyes how much the finding has fulfilled. You are the love I always dreamed of, and the dream was worth every year of waiting, worth every almost and every reached above the reach of hoping and anticipating. You are the love I always dreamed of, and I wake beside that fact each morning new, grateful for the dreaming and the living of a life that finally brought me into you. You are the love I always dreamed of, the dream made real, made warm, made true, the love I dreamed before I knew your name, the love I'll spend my whole life being grateful came.
I used to greet the morning like a duty, an obligation dressed in gray and still. The alarm, the rising, none of it had beauty, just the mechanism of another day to fill. I moved through early hours like a stranger, like someone passing through a place not his, without the sense of warmth or the remainder of something worth the waking up for this. And then the mornings changed without announcement, not the season and not the light outside, but something in the texture and the pronouncement of each day arriving shifted in the tide. You are the light of my mornings, not the sun that comes regardless through the pain, but the light that comes with warnings of something good and never quite the same. You are the light of my mornings, the reason that the early feels like grace, the quiet and the warm adornings of a day that starts with you inside this space. You are the light of my mornings, and morning is a different word since it carries now a whole new set of meanings, the most beautiful of which is simply you. I watch you in that hour before the rushing, when the day has not yet asked its full of us, when the light is soft and nothing needs the hushing, when the world outside is quiet without fuss, and you exist in that particular window with a grace that only early hours allow, unhurried and unguarded in the shadow of the morning and the unrepeatable now. And then the mornings changed without announcement, not the season and not the light outside, but something in the texture and the pronouncement of each day arriving shifted in the tide. You are the light of my mornings, not the sun that comes regardless through the pain, but the light that comes with warnings of something good and never quite the same. You are the light of my mornings, the reason that the early feels like grace, the quiet and the warm adornings of a day that starts with you inside this space. You are the light of my mornings, and morning is a different word since it carries now a whole new set of meanings, the most beautiful of which is simply you. I've heard the poets write of sunrise as a sacred of dawn breaking, as the holiest of hours, and I have found my own version of the naked beauty of the morning in these powers, not in the sky but in the face beside me, not in the horizon but in the near, not in the distance but in what is daily, the light I find each morning waking here. Fire rose above all other light, my own and only morning sun. I've always been the kind who reads the weather, who checks the depth before he puts his feet in, who keeps the maps and pulls the plans together, who knows the exits of the rooms he's been in. Caution was the language I had chosen, the way I moved through everything I'd known. Never far enough from shore to feel the ocean, never deep enough to lose the sight of home. And then you came and pointed past the shoreline, past the comfortable and the mapped and the known. And something in me found the old confined no longer worth the safety it had shown. Our love in uncharted waters, and I have never sailed so far from land, beyond the place where every compass falters, where the only navigation is your hand. Our love in uncharted waters, and the charts don't reach this far, and that's the point where the unknown opens up and offers something no familiar sea could anoint. Our love in uncharted waters, and I am not afraid the way I thought I'd be, because the deepest and the most unguarded is exactly where I wanna be with thee. I've noticed things about myself out here, the farthest from the careful I have been, that the man I am without the map is clear in ways the charted version hasn't seen, that the fear I carried of the open water was just the fear of my own depth untested, and loving you has made me less the shorter version of the man I'd been bested. And then you came and pointed past the shoreline, past the comfortable and the mapped and the known. And something in me found the old confined no longer worth the safety it had shown. Our love in uncharted waters, and I have never sailed so far from land, beyond the place where every compass falters, where the only navigation is your hand. Our love in uncharted waters, and the charts don't reach this far, and that's the point where the unknown opens up and offers something no familiar sea could anoint. Our love in uncharted waters, and I am not afraid the way I thought I'd be, because the deepest and the most unguarded is exactly where I wanna be with thee. The old explorers drew sea monsters at the edges, filled the unknown with the terrible and vast. But I have found that past the charted ledges lies something more magnificent than the past. Not monsters, but a depth that holds us gently. Not darkness, but a different kind of light, the kind that only shines so evidently when you are far enough from shore at night. Our love in uncharted waters, and I would not trade the map for what we found, the depth that no cartographer had taught us, the beautiful I want to explore with you beside me, with no map between us, with nothing but the open and the true. Our love in uncharted waters, endlessly with you.